friends, it's Strawberry Witch, and today I have something a little bit different, but also very exciting, and that is I'm going to do a sketchbook tour of my first sketchbook as an adult. So quickly, I used to do a lot of drawing back when I was like 13, 14 when I first got into anime and manga, and then I just stopped drawing. So this sketchbook is from August 2020 to March 2026. To be honest, when I originally bought this sketchbook, it was supposed to be an art journal. So the first couple of pages you'll see are very art journal-y, but then we'll get into the actual sketches. Because once I got into D&D, I really wanted to learn to draw properly. So this sketchbook is really exciting because you see 6 years of growth. So I'm very excited to share this. This is a Sakura sketchbook. This sketchbook has done me well. But let's get started. So, like I said, this was supposed to be an art journal, and seeing as it was during 2020, I really was trying to find somewhere to express how bad I was doing. So a lot of these are very depressing. August 2020 to March 2026. Here I've listed all my favorites. I'll mention them as we go by. Honestly, I do, even though this is very emo, I do really like that this is the title page with the puzzle pieces. It's very cool. The page of Frugeles. Painted some strawberries. There's 2 more art journaling pages. So Tired of Being So Tired. I love doing lyrics. And then this is from the Gorilla song. 2 more art journaling pages. Ruin Me, If You Let Me Be One of the Ones You Say You Won't Forget. And this is also the Mac Miller song. Now, I'm going to pause for a second and talk about this page because this page is honestly kind of hard for me to look at. And trigger warning for just a moment. So, as you can see, I just got a bunch of hearts. It's just a pattern of gold and silver hearts, and honestly, this page, I drew this when I was so close to Kermiting. 2020 was really bad for me, and the only thing that was keeping me grounded and distracted to not do that was to just do this repetitive ass page of hearts. Even though it's a really cute page and it came out really well, there's so much negativity contained in it that it's hard for me to look at. We have this Howl's Moving Castle page. That's that same Gorilla song. And then we have a Spirited Away. I watched Spirited Away for the first time in 2020. And then we have 2 pages of acrylic strawberries, pink and green. I actually really like the way this came out. I think it's really cute. And then this is my first favorites that is listed. This is my Piplup page. I actually painted this on stream a long time ago. It doesn't have a date, but I'm pretty sure this was around 2021. And then this I never finished, but I wanted this girl to have rainbow bangs. Obviously, did not get that far. I did a galaxy painting. I used to be really good at galaxy paintings. Not so much anymore, but I used to be really good at them. Then this is where the drawing actually starts. So as you can see, 2022, January. This is kind of how my art style looked like before I got serious about drawing. This is just from drawing from reference of like anime and manga. Got a bunch of suit sprites. Then we have a doodles page, was just doodling. I like the cat. And the frog, the UFO frog is very cute. But everything else, This was me drawing Jester from Critical Role. I really want to redraw her because obviously my art style isn't like this very much anymore. I've tried to make it a little bit more realistic, although I still draw very femininely. But I'd really like to redraw this picture because I think I can draw it much better. But it is cute for what it is. Another suit sprite I did not finish. We have this vampire queen lady. Her outfit's really cool. I think it was from Pinterest. And then I drew different weapons she would have, like little saber rapiers, a magical staff, and then her companions, a bat and a snake. Was drawing some sideways practice. Obviously, hate drawing hands. Who doesn't? Another snake plant. This kitty girl, I think she's pretty cute. The only thing is I don't know what happened with her shirt. I think I was trying to draw something and it didn't work out, so I just scribbled over it. But her herself is pretty cute. This was my first time drawing from a real life reference. So I was drawing a rose that was in a vase. It came out pretty well, actually, because I've never drawn, was it called Still Life? I don't draw that, like, ever, so it came out pretty well. And then I was doodling some Pokemon. I come back to this concept later on and do it 1,000 times better. But this was basically my team in Sword and Shield, almost. I literally beat that game with Ghost Pokemon. I had some others, but I can't remember. We got Fantra and Drifloon down here. This is me practicing some outfits, just references from Pinterest, because I am so bad. Like, I like fashion, but I'm so bad at imagining it, if that makes sense. So I was just drawing from reference for some of these. This one's came out really well. This one came out really well too, and this one. Once again, not really dating things. This one I was trying to work on braids, which I did not finish. But yeah, I was trying to work on braids. I need to get back to this. And then this picture I was really, really proud of, because once again, it was kind of expressing my depression. And this one is expressive of self-harm. Okay, I'm about to annoy you because I used to only want to draw things on the right side. So I started flipping my sketchbook to always be drawing on the right side. I do stop doing that eventually, but this was an early concept sketch of a character named Melanoy. She looks very angry, which is funny because she's not an angry person anymore. This was obviously drawn out of order because it looks extremely different from this one over here. But we have this little pigtail girl. Once again, no hands. I do start drawing hands later on. Do not fret. Another doodles page. I like this bunny. I like this person peeking their little head. Can you see them? Oh, let me just push my sketchbook up. I like their little head peeking. And I like this penguin. Very cute. And this outfit on this girl is really cute. Now, here we are trying to practice hands. Look at me. I was trying to learn the anatomy of a hand by learning like the joints and things like that. I don't know. This is a monster hand. But this one actually came out pretty well. That pinky is huge. And like I'm by no means an expert in hands now, but man, I can draw them so much better and so much easier. This was an emote concept for my Twitch, which was my avatar. Now here we get into where my art journey took off. And that is with drawing D&D characters. So this one I'm so proud of. This is my first D&D party, and I drew a group picture of us, which is crazy because as you can see, like look at how different the art style went from here to here. And so we've got Agus and we've got Leo, who ended up getting married in the game. And we have my character, Aricia, which is funny because she looks so different from here. Oh, because this was in November of 2022, and then this was 2023. We have Marathon, and we have Wrath. And I don't know, I work my ass off on this because, like, drawing this little hand, I don't know if you can tell, but it's been erased 5 billion times. And, like, drawing this map in perspective, I had never drawn Aegis or Leo or Wrath before. I don't know why I made Marathon taller than Wrath. I always thought that Wrath was small. At least smaller than most of us, besides Aricia. She's like 5'3". So yeah, this Aricia is my character. This was our campaign Falsehood Godhood. It fell through, but these characters and the journey that we did have was very special because it was my first ever D&D experience. And then we have my girl, Aricia. Technically my second ever character that I've made, but technically also my first serious one, I guess you could say. Aricia is my baby girl, and she means so much to me. She is a tiefling Death Domain cleric, and she is a follower of Char, which is the symbol down there. Now, then we have this little comic that I did based off of an actual scene from the campaign. And I look at this all the time, and I really need to do this more often with our current campaign because I think this is so cute. I just have to remember to do it, like when I see a funny moment that I think I could draw. So Wrath is a dragon, and Aricia, she loves animals, and she picked up a little lizard and was like, wow, look at the lizard, so cute. And then Wrath came up and was like, am I not enough for you? It was a very funny moment. And I just love how cutesy she looks here, and then how done she looks here. And I love the comical style of Wrath's kind of eyes. So I love this picture so much. I think it's also marked as one of my favorites. Oh, and then obviously this one is marked as one of my favorites as well. And then we have my first ever drawing of Marathon. In Falsehood Godhood, Aricia and Marathon ended up becoming best friends. I became really attached to Marathon, but to be honest, everyone in the campaign loved Marathon. They were like, Mommy Marathon. So she was kind of special to everybody. But this was my first attempt at drawing her. Marathon is a Triton fighter. She's an Echo Knight fighter. Here we have another doodle page. I was trying to just do like a collage, a random hand practice down here, which actually looks pretty good. Here's another one of my favorite pictures. Wrath hugged Aricia for the first time. Aricia grew up in like really tragic conditions with a mom that did not like was very abusive. So she's not used to physical touch. I don't remember what spawned this. I don't know if Aricia said something depressing or what, but Wrath did end up hugging her and it was just kind of like a oh shit moment for her. It was very sweet though. Had to draw hands again. This hand is bigger, which is crazy because Wrath's hands should be bigger, but whatever. I did make a digital piece of this, which I'm also very proud of. And yeah, I was gonna draw the scales because he's like a prismatic dragon. I was gonna draw the scales, but I started and I gave the fuck up. Now enters the queen, the woman, the myth, the legend, Mythica. She is the first character I made for Shattered Memories, which is the campaign I DM. And she was important to a character, Sylvia, who you'll also see a lot of, which was Yelsa's character. Oh yeah, Marathon is also Yelsa's character. Forgot to mention that. She was important for Sylvia's backstory because with every person I did a pre-campaign thing, kind of like a session 0, you know. But Sylvia's went on a little bit longer, and Mythica was her girlfriend, or ended up being her girlfriend. And I think this was one of the first. No, this is definitely one of the first sketches I did of her. And once again, flipping the sketchbook, but it turned out so cute. She is a trickster, rogue, sorcerer, dark magic sorcerer. And she loves the moon. She's moon coated, Sylvia's star coated. And she puts little kunai in her buns, her little rogue kunai. Here's another sketch of Mythica I did, just in a different outfit. And this page fell out, so here's some more concept sketches of Mythica. This one came out really cool. Mythica has her mysterious magical bag of mysteries, or whatever the fuck she calls it, where she does claromancy, divination for people. So that's what that is, her little bag. Then we have Marathon and Aricia. Like I said, they were besties, so I had to give them a little picture. I also did a digital art of this. And as you can tell, I'm still on my digital art journey as well. Digital art is so hard for me simply because of like color theory and just how to blend colors, how to highlight, especially hair. It's all frustrating. But we keep doing it. This is another one of my favorites. I love this one a lot. It's very cute. This is a Marathon and Aricia one that I started and kind of wish I'd kept going with, but I didn't. It's crazy too because it's almost finished. I think I stopped because of this hand, but yes, I know this page is blank. I stopped doing that later on. I feel like all beginner artists skip pages. Another one, so I wanted them to have complementing spreads, so I did Aricia with her spiritual weapon, which is a scythe, and her little spirit guardians, which is bats, and this was supposed to be fire. Once again, still no drawing hands. And I started coloring this one, and then I was going to do the same for this one. I didn't finish this one because of this hand, but I did make it into a digital piece, and I finished it there. I get better at drawing her hair because I really do not know how to draw curly hair. Or not curly hair, wavy hair. Here's another Mythica cutie patootie. We have Aricia and Marathon's logos put together, the lotus and the scythe. And then this was my first concept sketch for lovely, lovely Rosanna. Rosanna was important for Anastasia's pre-game backstory, which I have drawn Anastasia, so we'll get to her. And she is a tiefling Path of the Beast barbarian, but she cannot rage in a normal way. She can only rage when like her friends around her are dying or she's really anxious or things like that. I liked that concept. She is heavily based off of Hilda from Fire Emblem Three Houses and Tinkaton from Pokemon. Heavily influenced because I love this idea of this fucking really strong tiny creature that's pink. So this was concept sketches. Reason why this came about is because we were doing Falsehood Godhood and we were just making couple names for everyone. And the ones we came up with for Marathon and Aricia were Maracia and Arathan. And we were like, wow, those sound like children's names. And so we just went with the concept. So Arathan is the boy, Maracia is the girl, they're twins. We ended up going with sort of a design like this for Maracia. Here's trying to draw more hands. Look, I was obviously unhappy with this hand. The other ones are not so bad. This one came out really well. So this was a concept sketch for Melune, who ends up becoming really close to Mythica. She is a peace domain cleric? Life domain cleric? Don't remember, but she is a blue tiefling. Very curly hair. Obviously, once again, don't know how to draw wavy hair. And then here we have some concept sketches for Rowan, who is Mythica's older brother. And I cannot draw men. This is my biggest challenge in this book, is that I cannot draw men. My art style is too round, too feminine, and that is something I want to practice in the next journal, is drawing men. We have more Mythica! I did like little emotes of her laughing. I like this one. I like this one. Mythica just ended up being such a big, like, inspiration for me. Along with Sylvia, who honestly became my muse. Once I learned to draw braids, I draw Sylvia all the time. She's just so beautiful and so cute, and you can literally draw her in any situation it works. So you'll see a lot of Sylvia. This is Yelsa's character. Then I have Melanoy again. Remember the one I drew earlier that looks so angies? She can see ghosts. It's really jaded her, and it's gotten her family in trouble, so I wanted to draw a page with all the ghosts around her. I want to redraw this because it looks very stiff. So I'd love to redraw this page. The ghosts look great, but like her body and stuff, I'd love to redraw this. Okay, these two are complementary pieces. So Aracia had a best friend that died when they were like 10, 11. And so we have two complementary pieces. And Aracia's favorite flower is the lily, because you know that's the funeral flower. We have Celeste with her flower crown, and she's holding a lily, and it's got blood dripping off of it, and like she's got blood and stuff dripping off of her body. And then we have Aracia, who has the lily as well, Lily of Life. So because she lived, her lily is not dripping with blood, and she just has her scar. So Lily of Death, Lily of Life. I really like these two. Then we have Stell. So I'm trying to get back into fan art, because fan art is really good for practice. So I was really into Honkai Star Rail. We are at September 2023. But I did Stell, and I think it came out really good. And then here is a concept sketch for another character named Nyx, who is also close to Mythica and friends with Sylvia. She is a kitsune, and I don't know why I drew her in chibi form first, but it's pretty cute. I wanted to do Inktober. I have never been able to stick with an Inktober yet. Hopefully one day, maybe this year. I don't know. The issue is Inktober is right before NaNoWriMo, and I have to prioritize. So we have Mythica. We have Hikari from Harvest Moon Animal Parade. We have some eyes, some clouds. We have Aracia. I wanted to draw her holding a stuffed animal because she loves stuffed animals, but the fucking arms, I couldn't get them right, and they were pissing me off. But everything else looks cute. And then I practiced, hugging the knees. I want to learn to draw that pose more. In my new journal, I'm going to work on poses more, because I just do a lot of front facing. But you know what I did stick with? No hiding hands November. So Yelsa and I both hate drawing hands. So we made a no hiding hands November where we had to draw a hand every single day. Now, as you can see, I did more than that. But man, oh man, when I tell you this is the reason I can draw hands now and I'm not so scared of them, and I understand hands more. Like, yeah, I can't do it immediately, but I understand how they should work and what looks right and what doesn't, is because of no hiding hands November. I have a little split down here from Fortnite. I don't know why. I was practicing braids again. This was the first couple days. I have this ghost that says help because I was losing my mind. And then over here, I do drawing a lot more. I was very serious about this. I have this one holding a ball. My peace signs look really good. This one looks really good. All of these are just reference images from Pinterest, to be honest. And then we have more. I did the bird. Look, my thumbs up looks really good. I was trying to like put different hands down, do different angles. And then this week, I only dedicated myself to drawing hands holding something. And the wine glass came out really well. I like the coffee one too. This hand about murdered me. You can't see it, but I erased it 5 billion times. And the juice box came out really good. And then this was the last week of drawing hands. Obviously, I got lazy, but I did draw a hand every day. Over here, I did Stell again, which is a little emote of her eating a watermelon. And then here's my actual, like, picture of Nyx. And this is actually a scene from the campaign of her playing, I think, Azazel's pan flute, which was technically Flask's, but I think Azazel let her borrow it. And it's very cute. And then here's my first, like, official picture of Sylvia, the love of my life. This is how I continue to draw her braids, but like I said, I need to upgrade my braid game, but they work for what they are. And this is her outfit that she wears. I don't know why, but I got blood on this, which is unfortunate. But this is start of January 2024, and I think I made digital pieces of both of these. Here's another doodle page. This is actually concept art for the tarot deck that Yelsa and I are making of our campaign, so that's why I was like just sketching shit out. Over here, I made the main crew into Honkai Star Rail Cats. So these were the main players of the campaign: Killian, Sylvia, Anastasia, Flask and Azazel. Flask and Azazel are played by the same person. Unfortunately, we don't have two of these players anymore, Killian and Anastasia, but we have the others. And I made them all into little Honkai Star Rail Cats, and I think they came out really cool. I made a digital piece of this as well. I don't know if I still have it, but I did make one. Over here, we have the concept sketch for a character named Naki. She is a reborn cleric, and she is a marionette, so she has a slit mouth. And I did a digital piece of this as well, and in the digital piece, I made, like, marionette strings. And this is her god, Calaxia. He's the god of plagues. And she made a little doll of him that she carries around. This, we have a Sylvia and Kaze picture. This was for Yelsa for Valentine's Day. I drew my character, Kaze, who was a bad guy in the first arc of the campaign, and he was supposed to die, but Sylvia converted him, unfortunately. I drew this for them, and I made this a digital piece. I don't know where that is either, but that's what I gave her for Valentine's Day. I just sketched it out first. Okay, this one I like a lot. I have a digital piece of this as well called Like a Drowned Lily. Same concept with Erisea and Celeste, except in the digital art she has angel wings. So it's kind of like her ghostly form hugging Erisea, as like Erisea is, I think, mourning her grave, you know, trying to tell her it's gonna be okay. I love every single picture on this page. These were just sketches, but they all came out really well. I think I made this into a digital piece of Sylvia with a little butterfly on her nose. She loves butterflies. Anastasia, this one came out really well. Mythica, I think this one's digital too, but I don't know, I just love this one. And then we have Nixie as well. These all came out really well, and I'm really proud of them because I didn't put a lot of thought into them. Then we have Rosanna again. I draw Rosanna quite a few times in this sketchbook, and she's kind of like a measure of how my art style has grown. So if you'll remember, this is just what she looked like just in 2023. And then in 2024, the upgrade is crazy. Also, drawing hands. Can we talk about that? But I drew her again. I draw her a couple more times, so she's kind of like my measure of my growth. I have another Mythica and another Sylvia chibi down here. And then I did a chibi Sakura Miku. Okay, listen, this is where I was in my peak art making era. So I did this scene, which is a scene of Nyx and Anastasia at the Fox Den. Nyx doesn't have her ears and tails out because kitsunes aren't widely accepted, so she keeps them hidden. But she loves foxes, obviously. And Anastasia took her to a fox den. And so she was really happy. And I did a digital piece of this as well. I like that Anastasia is looking at her rather than the foxes. And they were in a forest. So this one came out really well. I love this one a lot. My first time drawing in pen, like, seriously, and it came out so fucking well. I was so impressed. I think this is also a 3/4 angle, or almost a 3/4 angle. Crazy that it came out so well and I did pen. This is Office Sylvia, and I do a better sketch of this later on. And then we have Erethin. He has a cat named Luna, a little black cat, and I just love the idea of long cat. And then we have this one of Mythica. I absolutely love this one because since Sylvia lost her memories, you know, Mythica and Sylvia weren't dating anymore because Sylvia didn't remember her, and then when she did, you know, it's like, I don't know really who you are. So during that period, Mythica still, you know, was in love with Sylvia and still loved her, you know, because for her nothing changed. So I drew this picture of Mythica holding onto a little butterfly. I thought that was really symbolic, and I actually made a digital piece of this as well, and I think it's probably my favorite digital piece I've ever done. I don't know why. It just looks so magical, mystical. Here we have a picture of Hikari and Wizard. So if you know anything about me, Harvest Moon Animal Parade is my absolute favorite game of all time. So I drew a picture of it snowing outside and them sharing a little scarf and drinking some coffee. and the little cat picture in the background. I really like this. I would like to make this into a digital piece one day. Just so little time. Over here we have some more doodles. We have Illume, which is Yelsa's character. She's a little rabbit character and she loves rainbows. And over here we have a Kosh. I think this is the only time I've ever drawn a Kosh, which is kind of crazy because he's definitely one of my more feminine men that I need to lean into more. This is the first time I ever drew him, and it looks really great. I think this was even a concept sketch, maybe. It came out really well. It looks like him. It's crazy. And then I drew Evander. Unfortunately, Evander is one of my masculine men. I draw Evander another time in the sketchbook. I don't know what it is. But he's got a pretty simple design, so I think when I start drawing masculine men, I'm gonna try and draw him more. But yeah, he's like basically the guard captain of the entire country, and Akash is one of the people on that team, the Silver Song Guard. There's 5 of them. These are the only 2 I've drawn. Oh no, Naki. Naki is also in there. This one's funny. I don't know. I like this one. But this is one. I think this one was the first one I ever drew. Okay, so look, I've stopped drawing upside down. Everyone clap for me, please. This is the only thing that is covered up in this sketchbook. This is the only thing that I was like, oh dear God, no. So, this is a concept sketch of Whisper. Whisper doesn't look like this. She doesn't really look anything like this. And Whisper is definitely more muscular. I just didn't... This was just a concept sketch. Like, I didn't know she was gonna be like that because I didn't know she was a paladin at the time. But whatever. It's still a cute drawing. Now here's Office Sylvia in all her glory. Look at her. This was a digital piece I think I ended up doing for Yelsa's birthday. And the shading on this is when I started shading. It came out really well. I've since stopped doing that because, I don't know, I just, the pencil transfers over, and when you have 2 pencil drawings on the same side, they mush together, and I hate the way that looks, but I don't always want to draw in pen, and I don't want to ink everything, because, you know, when you ink stuff, the sketch looked better. This came out really well. Look at these hands, bro. These hands did not take me long at all. I love her little outfit. It's so cute. Her little pencil skirt, adorable. Here's some more doodles. This is actually a doodle of a character that I was working on called Yuna. She was a bunny. She looks more sad here than she actually is. And then this was, I don't know if I did this for Christmas or what, but this was a digital sketch I ended up doing for Yelsa. It was just a quick sketch. I don't know who that angry man is. And then over here, we just have this, honestly, queen. Her eyes, I know they're huge. I really have to stop drawing huge eyes. Like, that is the only anime trait that I have not been able to draw, is huge eyes. But honestly, here they look really cool. Like, I like the angle of them a lot. They look pretty dope. Don't know who that queen is, though. Okay, so is this the start of 2025? Yeah, so this is the start of 2025. Now, I did this chibi drawing of my character Xavius and Yelsa's character Senja. And Senja is a little bee fairy, and Xavius loves bees. Funny how that works out. And I did a little chibi of him kissing him on the cheek. Senja gets very embarrassed very easily, so it was really cute. This was in January, but then I drew this picture of Xavius in May. And even though I did other pictures in between that, I think there was this blank space down here. So I was just trying to practice drawing Xavius. It's okay. I don't know. It's not bad. It's not bad. I do another chibi of him later that I think looks much better. So I just kind of need to fiddle around with Xavius's practicing him more, because I would love to draw him more. But Senja came out great. Like, I made his hair so complex for no reason for a chibi, and he came out really great. And then we are back on our Honkai bullshit. I made Jiao Cho, who I fucking absolutely love from Honkai. And I don't know, his hair is very complex. This is one of those ones that the sketch would look better than the actual, like, art, you know? But it came out really good, and I like it a lot. Please give my boy back his eyesight. Another galaxy. I did these with acrylics, but I think I just didn't have enough shades of acrylics to really make it blend the way I wanted to, but it's not bad. Lucy Heartfilia is the love of my life. My favorite anime girl of all time. And I actually used to draw her a lot, and back in the day, she used to be my reference of my growth. So I was like, I haven't drawn her in a while, let me draw her. Came out pretty good. I drew her in her Taurus form, because I really like the outfit design, but she's very cutie. Love her bunches. Oh, I'm still drawing upside down. Sorry. We thought it had ended, but it had not. Okay, once again, Rosanna is my measurement for my improvement. So let's just think about this again, okay? This is what I was drawing in 2023. This little girl right here. And then in 2025, this is how I drew her again. The improvement is crazy. Like, truly just a representation of just keep drawing and it will get better. You know? She looks so much cuter now. Her face is a little bit too big. I kind of got in this era of drawing my face is too big. Don't know why, but still cutie. I like her necklace. I was actually shading, bro. Like, look at this shading. I stopped doing that. I get lazy, but I do need to go back to it. Because, like I said, it transfers. It annoys me. Another Honkai character. We have Tingyun, or aka Fugue. And this is probably probably my second favorite piece in this sketchbook. Because it was fucking hard. Like, it wasn't hard as in I was frustrated, but it was challenging because of all the tails and how intricate her kimono is. And then me adding the extra annoying ass element of shading everything. But it came out really good. I like how I shaded the hair. I wish I could shade like this digitally, but I can't. But it came out really, really cute. And I even drew all of her tails. I don't know. This is a masterpiece in my humble opinion. All right, look, I didn't draw upside down. So then we have Sylvia once again, who surprised nobody. I drew Sylvia from the New Year's Festival in her kimono that I think Kaze bought for her. I don't think he made it for her. Maybe he did. I don't remember. And the fireworks. Look at her cute little hands. I did this digitally for Yelsa 526. So I don't know. I think I just did it for funsies. But it came out really cute. And then over here I have some doodles. I have a Zazel. I've never drawn a Zazel before. This character belongs to Nerdy. It came out pretty well, actually. I'm pretty happy with it. And then I did Aracia, looking very grumpy. And then I was playing a lot of Marvel Rivals, so I did Psylocke from Marvel Rivals and Cloak from Marvel Rivals. And then down here is supposed to be Sparkle from Honkai. They all look pretty good, actually. And then this is my first time doing, like, not character art. Not my first time, but one of the times is actually dedicated to it. I just did a little koi fish and a lotus pond. Everybody likes this one when I show it to them. I think it's subpar at best. And so that makes me think, I'm like, do you just not like character art? But whatever. And then we have the girl squad. We have Nixie, we have Mythica, and we have Malune. This was that character that I drew really early on with the wavy hair, and I couldn't draw wavy hair. Look at me now, bitch. Look at me now, bitch. But anyways, girl squad. I started drawing actual, like, lips on girls. It has been fucking complicated as fuck. It's been a journey, but I think by the end I finally get better at it. We have chocolate stickers from Austria. We have the first picture of Naira. Naira is a very lovable character that traveled with the group for a very long time. Once again, another braid character. She is a siren. I do make her ears more like Triton-like later, because I don't know, I just feel like fish people have fish ear, like fish fin ears. But her original concept, she just says, because she's a half elf, I think also, so I gave her more half elf ears. But later on, I kind of give tiny little finned ears. But yeah, I made a tarot card concept, Page of Swords. I'm not going to explain it because spoilers. This is a junk journal page. I put this in here. This is from my trip to Chicago in 2025 where I saw my bestie, Ellie. Just some stuff from our travels, stuff that I bought, things like that. Obviously, we ate a lot of candy. Here is my first time doing watercolor. So my friend Yelsie, she loves watercolor. She's really amazing at it. And she inspired me to do some. We were at our hotel together, and so I did some art with her. This one was at a cafe, but this one, absolutely stunning. This was a reference picture from somewhere on the interwebs. And then this one I just did for my brain cells. It's very trippy, just like mushrooms would be. Okay, here's my all-time favorite picture in this journal. And that is Ululaka from Rune Factory Guardians of Ozima. I really want to draw more Guardians of Ozima characters because I still haven't finished that game, but I fucking love it. And Ululaka was the first character that I romanced. And this hand, bro, you can see I was practicing it over here because it was driving me mad. But it came out really good. Look at the little bird. And you can't see, but the transfer... it drives me nuts. How do you stop the transfer? I don't think you can. And I think that's why people draw on pens. But y'all are God's strongest soldier, because how do you sketch out things before? I don't know. I don't know. I do practice drawing in pen later more, but her outfit, holy fuck. Like, Fugue walked so Ululaka could run, because her outfit was even more complex, but it came out really great. Over here we have Milan, bro. Milan is Yelsa's character, and I'm sorry, but I went off with this picture. It looks like her, because sometimes you draw characters and they resemble them, you know, and you're like, oh, okay, I can see who that would be. No, this is Milan. This is what Milan looks like. 110% this is Milan. So I'm very happy with this one. I kind of want to do it digitally just so I have it memorialized. I need to draw Milan more, but I'm afraid that I'll never be able to draw her like this again. So, unfortunate. We have Erethan down here again. Still not happy with his design. His hair is too short here. We have Fuyuka, my character. She's cutie. And then we have another one, Minhyun, also my character. First of all, the transfer on this is crazy. Like, his whole skin is dark. You can see it. His skin looks really dark. He's not, I mean, he's olive skinned, but he's not, like, brown skinned. Anyways, he's got scales on him because he's a Yonti, and he's another one of my really masculine men, but, you know, I was just drawing his face, so it was okay. Another attempt at Inktober. I actually do get, like, I was doing one picture a week, so I do actually kind of stick with it, but I don't finish it. I just, look at the transfer on this, bro! The only reason this is okay because it's the Bereaved. But, like, look at how it transferred over here. Anyways, I drew Azazel again. This one came out really fucking good, too. Azazel kind of had a villain arc where he was being manipulated by this ancient deity thing called the Bereaved, which is symbolized down here. And it was happening through this doll of Sylvia. I can't even get into all that, but this little doll, Sylvia, so I drew her sitting on his shoulder and the hand and then all this kind of flame, but this was going to be black flame. Or like blackish green flame behind him. And I wanted it to be a contrast, like an invert of Sylvia. So how hers is more like clouds, wispy clouds, but it's, the color is gone here, but down here. And then the color is in here and then not here. So I kind of wanted to be an invert. Sylvia is a dream eating dampier, so that's why she's kind of like being pulled out of her bed, probably from dreaming. And then we have over here, oh wait, this one was called Disastrous Nat 1. This was called Dream. Yes, that makes sense. This one was called Companion, so I drew Sylvia, and I don't know why I didn't center her. I would like to do this one as a digital piece, too. But here's Flask, here's Killian turned away, because Killian left. Anastasia, and then Azazel, who's also turned away to kind of be a counterpart. Sylvia's actually got dark skin. I've just never colored it in, because the braids, I do so much shading that I thought it would just all blend together. So I decided to try it. It actually looks really cute. Should do this more often. Then I have Golden. I have these two old men, is what we call them. Inslo, who belongs to Elsa, and Evander. Once again, I drew him again. And Inslo runs a bar, has a wine called the Golden Serpent. So I just kind of tried to draw that scene. Once again, both very masculine men that I... Like, listen, my art style isn't bad. I know it's just my style, but I would really like for the masculine men to look masculine. But if we just look at this in a piece way, it looks good. This hand, killer. Oh my god. Another Inktober of transformation. This is Selena. This is Sylvia's mom. And it's when she got turned into her dream-eating vampire state. She was attacked, obviously, so that's why there's blood. I like the blood eclipse over here. I really like this one. I just like the pop of color that I added. Sylvia, I did this when I was with my bestie, Yelsie, so this is 2026. I fucking love how this came out. Holy crap. Watercolor, like, for real, the more you practice, the better you get. And I highlighted with a silver pen, as you can see, instead of a white one, because I simply just didn't have a white one. Holy crap, it looks so good. This looks so good. I love Sylvia so much! It's also nice to watercolor, because then I don't have to do a digital piece of it if I like it that much. Alright, so we have another watercolor. I started this with the LCs, and I finished it when I got home, but I did the majority of it with her. We have Sylvia and Mythica. Oh my gosh, you cannot see Mythica because she's so light. Well, she's got a lot of highlights in silver. Can I do this so you can see it better? Sylvia does too. There you go. You can see a little bit better. Sylvia's got a lot of highlights too in silver. Very cutie. Sylvia, once again, ugh, like watercoloring her is just so easy. The era of Pokemon. So this is when I was starting to practice with pen. Because I wanted to start practicing with pen more, but I was like, what's easy, low maintenance that I can do with pen? Pokemon! So, yeah, as you can see, they've gotten a lot better. Pumpkaboo was my first. And then when I finished them, they look like coloring pages, so I was like, I'm gonna color them. Wooloo, very cutie. Cutiefly, very cutie. Combee, Litwick, and Sylveon. Sylveon came out a lot better than I expected her to. And then we have Lurantis. We have Piplup, my baby. We have Badoo. We have Rabombi! We have Luxray. And then I haven't colored these. We have Petalil and Rowlet. But I probably will go back and color them. So just because they're not colored right now doesn't mean they won't be in the future. And then we have Ninetales. I didn't mean for her to take up the whole page. We have Mute and we have Fantrump. Very cutie. This page I did more Honkai cats, but I did them of the NPCs plus DMPC, Kaze. We have Daisy, who has not been drawn yet, but she's about to be. Darius, oh god, I will not draw him probably for the next 20 billion years. Till I can get my masculine men down, never happening. Akash, so I did, I guess, technically draw him again as a cat. Mythica and Genesis, Kaze's partner. This was some sketches I was doing for a character, because there's two characters they're an angel and devil character, and they have symbols on their foreheads. They're twins, so I was trying to like figure out how I wanted them to look. This is one's, this is the other's. This was me showing somebody a floor plan. Here's a cutie. I meant to like draw Candy all around her and her be like a candy gumdrop princess, but obviously that didn't happen. Okay, if you watched my, I think, February Feria vlog, like craft market vlog, you saw these queens. So this was my first times challenging myself to draw characters straight from my imagination. Like, I didn't have any pre-concept of them. They're not D&D characters, nothing like that. They might be one day, because one thing about me is I'm going to capitalize on it, but this is Sumi, and this is Reva. And I drew Reva first, and the only reason this happened was because I was trying to practice 3/4 angles, because I suck at them. So this was the first one, and it came out pretty good, actually. And then this was the second one, and then I was like, well, I drew this queen twice. Let me draw her again, front-facing. You know how those artists do where they do like a whole page, a character page, or a character spread about a character, and their sketchbooks look really cool? I was trying to do that. I like her piercings. She's got a lot of piercings. This outfit wouldn't keep her in. It was just the first thing I saw on Pinterest. And then over here I drew Sumi. I like to imagine that they're like future girlfriends, rivals that like each other, but they won't admit it. Mostly Sumi. She's kind of a tsundere. And I drew her outfit. Fucking love her outfit, by the by. Love all her piercings. She has this cool ass tattoo on her face. And another 3/4 angle. I love her horn jewelry. Holy crap, do I love her horn jewelry. It came out so cool. And then I drew little chibis of them kissing down here. Also very cute. This was also me practicing 3/4 angle. I don't like this girl's hair. It doesn't look realistic. It's not like flowy enough, but I did it. Down here is probably another one of my favorite pictures from this journal, and it is a chibi of Daisy and Xavius plus glitter and Sinja in his B form. I imagine that this was like Daisy making Xavius help promote the cafe they work at, and she's like, woohoo, come to the Lavender Dreams, and Xavius is like, woohoo, come to the Lavender Dreams. So I really love these chibis. I was like, I need to practice chibis more too. This is Nagisa from Ensemble Stars. Oh, but I was trying to draw him in more, and he was one of the less masculine, but still masculine looking ones, if you know what I mean. Drew Rosana Chibi. I don't really love it because I don't like her hair. Fuyuka Chibi, it's alright. It's cute. Now, this is where I put out my sketchbook focus goals for my next one. So I really want to focus more on anatomy, chibis, men, sad face, more masculine figures, some life references. We'll see if that actually happens. More pin sketches and drawing from imagination. So those are the goals for my next sketchbook. And then to commit, I was starting to draw some anatomy sketches. I drew this one from just my own brain, so that's pretty cool. It was nice too because I was drawing it and I could kind of see where things didn't look right or where they should be positioned just from what I have learned about anatomy, so it's pretty dope. This one too, a strawberry. Look at little Makar did a pin sketch, how cute. This is this thing that sits on my desk. Yeah, that's this. And then this was another 3/4 angle that I ended up doing in pen. Can we clap? Then I did Miku Hatsune! And was like, I said I want to draw Miku more. Let me draw, like, actual Miku. I wasn't actually planning on coloring it in, especially because it's still a pencil sketch. So it does kind of bleed into her arm. You can see her arm looks darker here. C'est la vie. I didn't want to pin it out, even though I probably should have. But it looks really cute. The teal is like the perfect shade of teal. This was with colored pencil. And then over here we have Naira again. I wanted to do her in like kind of a stupid emote of her licking the page. So that's what this is. Did it in watercolor. Very impressed with how it came out. So you can see I gave her a little bit more finned ears here. But it's really cute. And then the last page in this sketchbook, the grand finale, is this. This is Yelsa's character Xanthic, and this is based off of a chibi reference that I saw on Pinterest of just like, someone just opening their mouth. And I know Xanthic looks kind of like a ghost here, but if you know anything about Xanthic, this fits him because he just talks a lot. He talks to anybody and everybody about nothing. So this is kind of him just opening his mouth going, bop, bop, bop. So I love this one. And when I did this one, I was like, this has to be the last page. Like, there's still kind of a little bit, like, as you can see. But I was like, nah, this has to be the last page. This is a perfect end. And it looks so good. Like, I was like, what if the next page I do isn't as good as this? So, this is the end. This is the end, y'all. Holy crap. Can you believe the progress? It's just, wow, I'm so proud of myself. But then, like, 2023 was a really big drawing year for me. 2024 kind of like every now and then, but then 2025 onwards I got a lot more consistent. So this is my sketchbook. I'm really proud, and I'm sure I'll always look back on it to see my progress, because since it spans over 6 years, you know, I'm always going to see that. Now, quickly before we end, I got 2 new sketchbooks. Both Sakura's, because I like them. So I got this one, and I got this one. This one is dirty already. What the fuck? Anyways, so we covered up with stickers. It doesn't matter. So both Sakura's. In this horizontal one, I didn't even want this one. I just had to buy it to get free shipping. To be so real. So in this horizontal one, I'm going to focus on watercolor, because I think it would be good for watercolor. And then if I want to draw like a person, I could just do it like this, you know. But these hold watercolor pretty well, so we'll see. May have to only do one at a time, or if I do, maybe just do a pen sketch and then watercolor. We'll see. But that's what that one's for. This one is going to be my sketchbook, my next sketchbook. Because the big journal was nice, but I always felt pressured to fill in the pages. So I feel like I'll be able to fill in these pages a lot quicker with less space. And also, so I stopped drawing things so big, because that's not helping me with my super anime art style. So I contemplated for a long time. I was like, what's gonna be on the first page of the sketchbook? And I did it last night. And it is the love of my life. Sunday. I never drew Sunday in my other sketchbook, which is kind of crazy. I can't believe it. I think I was just so scared that I wasn't gonna do it well. But I did him as the first page. It's Sunday blushing and covering his face with his wings. I think about this rent-free every day. Not every day, but it lives in my head rent-free. So I really love the way this came out. It's so cute. And this is the beginning of the new sketchbook journey. I'm so excited. Yee! So thank y'all so much for watching this. I really appreciate it. This is kind of scary to put out there, because like sharing your art is always scary, but I am so proud of my progress from 2020 to 2026, and I've enjoyed this art journey a lot. I mean, look at the progress. And I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, and hopefully I'll have more sketchbook tours for you in the future. Please have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.